Europe has long been dominated by major players like Germany and France, but there's a silent force rising in the east that's poised to reshape the continent's power dynamics. Poland will be wealthier than Britain by 2030. It's time we took notice. Poland, with its rich history and rapid growth, from its picturesque landscapes to its bustling cities, Poland has always been rich in natural beauty. But did you know that this country's wealth extends far beyond its stunning scenery? Poland's economy is thriving, with impressive growth rates and a booming tech industry that's catching the world's attention. Subscribe now and join us as we explore the riches that make Poland's rise an incredible story you won't want to miss. Poland has a really long and interesting history. They've had to protect their country from other countries trying to take it over for 1,000 years. Because they're in the middle of Europe, they've had lots of wars and times when things were tough. At one point, Poland was the biggest country in Europe, but then it disappeared from the map for more than 100 years. But the people in Poland are strong and love their freedom. They didn't give up, and now they've not only overcome hard times but also added to European history and culture. They're a proud and resilient bunch. In the 16th century, Poland had a really great time. It was like their golden age. They had a lot of new ideas in art, science, and culture, and they were doing really well. One famous person from Poland, Nicholas Copernicus, came up with a new way of thinking about our solar system, which was a big deal for science. While other places in Europe were having problems with different religions, Poland decided to be nice to everyone and let people practice their own religion without any trouble. This made a lot of people who were running away from religious problems in other places want to come to Poland. Poland also got bigger by joining with Lithuania and becoming a big country called the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. They were one of the few places that let regular people have a say in how things were run, which was different from most other countries in Europe at that time. So Poland had a pretty unique and cool system. During World War, Poland saw a chance to become a free country again. After 123 years of not being on the map of Europe, Poland came back on November 11, 1918, and they called themselves the Second Polish Republic. In 1920, there was a big battle called the Battle of Warsaw, where Poland stopped a big attack from the Soviet Union, who wanted to go further into Europe. But then, on September 1, 1939, World War II started when Nazi Germany invaded Poland. A few days later, on September 17th, the Soviet Union also attacked, and Poland got divided again, with some of it controlled by Germany and some by the Soviet Union. The Polish people didn't give up though. They formed an underground group called the Home Army to resist the invaders. Many Polish soldiers joined the Allies who were fighting against Germany. In 1944, there was a big uprising in Warsaw, which was one of the largest fights against the Nazis in all of Europe during the war. Sadly, during World War II, Poland lost 6 million people, including 3 million Polish Jews, and the country was in ruins. It was a really tough time for Poland. After World War II ended, Poland was under the control of the Soviet Union, and they set up a government called the People's Republic of Poland, which was like a puppet government for the Soviets. During this time, the borders of Poland changed a lot, and many people from different countries moved around. As a result, Poland became mostly Polish, and it lost its diversity with people from different backgrounds. In 1997, Poland made a new set of rules for how the country should be run, and this is called the Constitution. Poland also joined a group of countries called NATO in 1999, which is like a club for countries to help each other stay safe. Then, in 2004, Poland became a part of the European Union, which is a bigger group of countries that work together on things like trade and laws. After going through a lot of tough times in its history, Poland has finally found some peace and is growing and becoming more stable. The World Bank Group is like a helper for Poland. They help Poland make its government and organizations stronger so that they can do a better job of dealing with big problems like protecting the environment and making sure the country's economy grows in a way that lasts a long time. Poland made some changes in the 1990s to its rules about how businesses work. This helped the economy grow, but not everyone benefited. They sold off some state-owned companies and made it easier for new businesses to start. That helped the private business sector, which is a big part of why Poland's economy got better. However, farming had some issues, like too many farmers and small farms that weren't very efficient. Some important industries like coal were slow to change, but foreign investments in energy and steel have started to help. They also made changes in healthcare, education, and how they handle money for things like retirement. But these changes put a lot of pressure on the country's finances. To make things better, Poland needs to reduce the number of government workers and change the tax rules for farmers so they pay similar taxes to other people with the same amount of money. Even after the big economic problem in 2009, Poland's money kept going up. While most of Europe had less money, Poland had more. A big reason for this is that lots of people live in Poland, so they buy things and help businesses. Poland also made rules that businesses like, which made it easier for them to work. Poland started doing better after they changed some of their rules in the 1990s, like how businesses work. From 1989 to 2007, Poland's money grew a lot, even though many people didn't have jobs. So, even though times were tough, Poland's economy got stronger. Poland has a super long history, going back over 1,000 years. It all started with different groups of people living in what's now Poland, like the Celts, Scythians, and others. But the ones who really made Poland were the Lechates, and they gave it its name. They lived in open fields, and were the first to make a country there. Poland was doing really well economically. They had 10 years of strong growth, and their economy was growing faster than many other countries in Europe. More people were using energy, especially for things like transportation and industry. But they also got better at using energy efficiently and had more jobs and services, which means they didn't need as much energy to make money. The problem is, in 2021, they started using more fossil fuels, which isn't great for the environment in fighting climate change. Even though Poland still uses a lot of coal for energy, they are also making some good changes. The government has been helping people use solar panels to make electricity from the sun, and a lot of homes now have them. In just 5 years, they went from almost no solar power to having enough to power millions of homes. Poland is also getting ready to use wind power from the sea. They have plans to make lots of wind turbines in the ocean, which will give them even more clean energy. They want to have enough wind power for millions of homes by 2027 and even more by 2040. Poland is working on making its natural gas and energy markets more fair and competitive. Right now, a big company owned by the government controls a lot of the gas and energy, and this doesn't leave much room for other companies to compete. They've been trying to change this, but it's taking some time. They also want to use cleaner energy sources like wind and solar power, and they're thinking about using nuclear energy too. They want to make sure everyone can afford energy and that it doesn't harm the environment too much. They have some plans and rules to make all of this happen, and they're working with other countries in Europe to make sure they're doing things the right way. Poland did pretty well with its energy and climate goals for the year 2020, but now they have some challenges for the next 10 years. They need to work even harder to reduce pollution and use more clean energy like wind and solar power if they want to reach their long-term goals for a cleaner and greener future. Poland really likes when companies from other countries come to invest money in their country. They believe it helps them grow, create jobs, and learn new things. The government has a plan to make it easy for these companies to invest in Poland and follow good business practices. By the end of 2019, Poland got about $234.9 billion from foreign companies who wanted to invest in Poland. Most of this money came from countries in Western Europe and the United States. In 2019, a lot of this money came from companies who already had investments in Poland and decided to put more money into their businesses here, especially in services and making things, which are becoming more important in Poland's economy. Poland has some rules about who can own companies in important areas, and they also have rules about land ownership, especially when it comes to farms and forests. The government wants more polished people to own companies in certain areas like media, banking, and stores because many of these companies are owned by foreigners. To encourage this, they have introduced special taxes and rules. For example, they stopped big stores from opening on Sundays to give smaller polished businesses a chance. They also made companies that sell sugary drinks pay extra money. In the future, they plan to make companies that advertise online pay a special tax to help with things like healthcare and protecting cultural heritage.